So welcome everyone to my humble abode. I'm staying in the lower level of this 1820s plantation house. We're going to do the video in reverse. As you can see, I already slept here last night. But awesome, quaint little place. Really enjoyed my time staying here. And out this way is where we found a lot of good stuff metal detecting all throughout the yard and in the woods. But really had a good time here staying in this little unit. All we have is that little area there. We got one little bedroom, which I slip out in the open. I'm the type that likes open spaces. I'm not into tiny little rooms. Much nicer out here. So I slept out there, and check out this little bathroom. I barely fit through here. I hit my head the first time I came in here. But you got the shower. And that probably, oh, I just hit my head again. These doors all lead into other areas of the home, which is also split up into another rental. I could hear a washer and dryer in here last night. I think it was for the unit next to me. Hey! But that's about it. So let's get into the dirt and dig us up some treasure. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so I've come in this little wooded patch here because the back area of the yard is it's all been worked extensively over the years. There's piles of brick and all sorts of material pushed over the hillside here, and it's just a lot of deep modern trash. And I found 2 modern coins, but mostly just a lot of scrap and nothing particularly old. So I came in this wooded patch over here, and I'm just working through to see if I can find any relics or coins back in through here. And my first signal is an old shotgun shell head stamp, so that's at least a good sign. There might be some other stuff back in here. I'm gonna keep looking. Now, there's a lot of modern and semi-old trash kind of pushed over this front end too. The house is back in through there because at some point they cleared the top of this for a driveway, and there's a lot of trash over the edge here. I found another shotgun shell head stamp, and just digging some of the overload signals just to see what they were. It was old lids, tin lids. And this is the first piece of brass I got back here. It's kind of odd. But let's keep looking. Gotta be something decent hiding down in here somewhere. The house is old, 1820s. Well, potentially our first decent relic. Still bushwhacking here in between all this brush. And I got a high 70 signal, about 4 inches down. And I think it might be half of an old compact of some sort. I think it's still got the glass intact in the inside. So that might be what it is. I'll have to sort it out. That's a little mirror inside the compact. We'll clean it up later. I'll keep plugging away. So yes, that does appear to be the lid of an old makeup compact, probably from around the 1930s, give or take. But you can tell on there it is Luxor brand, Luxor, which I found in the past. It's a pretty common brand, but a cool relic to find anyway. And back to the hunt. Hooey! So you can tell in through here all this material has been dozed at some point, and these are all younger trees back in through here. And I was, just popping a few of them can lids and just checking various signals, because in through here, because of all the extensive groundwork here, the old stuff could be literally at any depth. Normally properties like this end up being relic hunts because normally the coins get buried too deep and they're hard to find. You never know. I'm going to dig any solid signal right on the top. So I hit this blasting overload signal, but it was up in the 90s. And so I raised my coil up about a foot and swung, and it was hitting high conductive. So I'm like, oh, this probably isn't a can lid, but just probably some aluminum trash. Or like a more modern can, like an aluminum can. But I had this thing in the back of my head. I'm thinking, I don't know, I have a strange feeling that this is going to be a cap gun. And I check what's down here. I just did a plop with my shovel. It's a complete old gun. Busted in two, mind you. But check that out. Well, might be missing that half of it. I'll check the hole again. But how sweet is that? I love finding these things. It's been a while, and that's a big one too. Oh, of course, it's got an ant's nest in it. That always happens to me when I find the cap guns. It's a perfect environment for them. So I'll have to clean this out good and show it a bit later. Oh yeah, ants in the barrel. They're all down in there. Crazy. That always happens to me. All right, let's see if the other piece is down there. Oh yeah, the other half's down there. Sounds like it anyway. Maybe. Oh yeah, there it is. Check that out. Wait a second. Oh yeah, is that the other half? I was gonna say, thought we had another one here for a second, but nope. That's the other half of it. There we go. Let's see. Western. Awesome. Alright, well, I think we got the whole thing. We got both halves there in the barrel. We're in business. I'm going to bang this off here and let these ants run out of there, and we'll come pick it up later. Believe it or not, all the parts were there, and I was actually able to put this gun back together. Now, I haven't glued it or anything yet, but check it out. It is a Western brand, which was a really popular brand of cap gun back in the day. A lot of kids had these. And I'll show you here, but let me flip it over first and show the other side. It's pretty much the same on that side. But if I flip it over here, you can see it still has the trigger and the hammer. I mean, it's completely full. So anyway, you take this part off here, and the spring mechanism on the inside still works. You can still pull the hammer back. Now it doesn't, I don't know if these were ever supposed to lock, but check that out. Spring down there and everything still works. That is hard to believe. So I'll do some touch-up cleaning to this and get a little glue on it, I guess. Some Gorilla Glue or something. Put it back together. And that's going to make an awesome display. So for now I set the cap gun on that little pile of dirt right there. Let the ants kind of crawl out of it. And I had a signal in the 60s here, but it was real solid. They must have dozed a lot of the old, bigger trash type relics back in this section toward the side of the yard here. I just found this. You can see on the inside of it, it looks like the end of a really old flashlight. It's been busted and wearing down for a long time. That's got to be an old one, probably around the same time period as that cap gun. Ooh, look how reflective. You can see the camera. That's pretty neat. I'm going to stick around here since it's older trash. That's what I like. You never know what could come out of here. So I'm not going to weigh the pouch down. Let's set that over here by the gun and keep looking. So we just found the bottom half of this flashlight. Look at that. The battery was still in it. That is crazy. I don't know what size battery that is. It's bigger than a D battery. I don't know what they used to put in these things. It looks to be brass on this end where you would screw off the bottom and stick your battery in. That's at least what it looks like. I'll have to double check it though. I know some of these old flashlights had containers on the bottom. There could be something in there. But by the looks of this one, that's just screws off and you stick the battery in. Huh, that's crazy. We'll definitely get this out of the ground. That corrosive battery. So we'll set it over here for now. And we'll keep looking. I just want to try one of these signals live. I think I just saw an ant running on me. I still got them all over the place. Got a mid-70s signal here that sounds smallish. Could be like kind of like, it's ringing higher than a shotgun head stamp though. I'm curious. All this stuff mostly shallow back in here. Let's see what this is. Yep, just a piece of junk there. That's what I'm dealing with. Tons of flat iron and pieces of aluminum, stuff like that. But I'll keep at it. Got to be something else cool back here. I'm glad I'm back in here because it is windy today. The house is back through there. It's this section where there's a lot of that trashy stuff. And I'm coming down here by the pond. But no mind that sign. I have permission to be here. and the whole way down that way on the property as well. I actually even have permission to use, they're supposed to have some boats out here, so maybe we'll go out onto the water for a bit. I didn't bring any equipment to do any fishing today, but maybe I'll come back in the future if I'm in the area. But anyway, right down here, seems like a lot of the, all that broken glass down there you can see, pulled this out. I knew it was going to be an aluminum lid when I saw all that glass, but you know, these are semi-old, so it's good to see on this section of the property all the old trash just laying right on top. Yeah, that's probably a good 40, 50 years old right there. So I'll keep looking through here. Maybe we'll get into some older stuff. Got a lot of bamboo growing back in here. Wow, that wind. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever done it, but digging under bamboo roots, that is not an easy task. I metal detected a yard once where in the back it was all thick bamboo, and I found a ton of old coins in that yard. I was trying to dig them up in between the bamboo. It was like trying to cut through steel. Very solid. Just still trekking through the woods back here. Got to be some randomly older things back through here, just like even older trash. You see all this rubble and brick right there, all sorts of stuff. And I think I found a piece of old farm equipment here. I'm not too familiar with like farm machinery, but when this was all clear farmland back in through here, somebody tell me if this was part of a plow. That's my best guess, but I really have no idea. Almost looks like it has a pattern kind of going this way, so maybe that could be part of something different, like a stove or something. But I know somebody's going to comment and let me know. It's heavy, that's for sure. And looky what caught my attention close to the trail here by the pond. I hope this is intact. Looks like a semi-old bottle. What does that say? PE, probably a Pepsi. Let's see if it's intact. Oh, check that out. Nope, Dr. Pepper. That's what I thought it was. It didn't look like a Pepsi. That one's not super old. I'm just throwing out a guess there. What is that, 19... It's even got like the... Yeah, that's not super old. That's like 1980s, maybe. Hopefully. Wishful thinking, 70s. But that's cool to find it intact. I'll take it and clean it out. I like to find the old intact bottles. Semi-old, that is. Don't want to make my viewers feel older than they need to be. Alright, let's keep going. This is by far one of the most magnificent trees I've ever seen. Unbelievable. They even put some support under this big fat limb here. Look at that. Marvelous. Ooh, that morning sun is bright. Yeah, it'd be fun just to go sit on that limb right there and read a book. Okay, I came back out in the lawn behind the house and I found this modern state quarter just barely under the surface now. And there's a lot of deep trash here. And this is our best chance at an old coin. If this one's not an old coin, it's going to be a bad sign. I've been scouting around the property for a good hour and a half now, at least that long. It's rang up in the high 70s, and I popped it and you can see the imprint there. Now it looks to be copper, so it's not going to be a zinc penny. But let's see if it's going to be old. Yeah, that's a wheat scent. So, ooh-wee, we finally got an old coin out of this place. Had to work for that one. It doesn't look like one of the super old ones because the relief's high. It's probably going to be 1940s or 50s. At least I think so. Maybe it is older. I can't tell on there. I'll clean it up later. But I'm happy to pull that out. I'm going to work it slow. Now I know there's stuff down there. So it's tough going back here. The ground's really mineralized and packed down. You can see they dug something up here at some point. They put straw down quite a long time ago. It looks like it's been there for a while. I got like a 5-inch 81 signal, 80-81. Looks like I got a coin here down under all that. Is it old? Yep, it's a wheat scent. I'm a good 12 yards away from where I found the other one, so this was kind of random. You can almost see the year on that one. Let's see. It's 1940 something, so there's some stuff hiding down here. Pretty close to where I found that cap gun pushed in into the woods over there. So let's work it slow through this tough soil. See if we can pull another one out. Well, this is a cool hunk of brass. Killer signal. Somebody will have to let me know what that is. Kind of folded over, has a loop through it there. So that would have obviously been folded out straight this way, but not exactly sure. Big hunk of old brass though. You would not believe how good of a signal this little aluminum 2-hole button gave off. But that's probably about as old as the wheat pennies I pulled out of this section. Oops, there it went. But yeah, man, that sounded like a silver dime right there. I'm about 5 yards from where I found the cap gun now, and we're locking onto some older stuff. I'm finally locked into the smaller non-ferrous targets, so there's wheat penny number 3. So the stuff's down here, it's just tough to work for. I'd love to get back into the 1800s now. Well, this is shallow, so I'm not sure if it's going to be modern, but right down in my plug here, which is only about an inch down, looks like we got a coin. Let's see what it is. I think it's another wheat scent. I'm really locked in now. Just this ground so mineralized, hard packed red clay, you have to go really slow. But it's another wheat scent. And a minute ago I just dug a small lump of lead. It's not very oxidized white. I don't think it's a super old piece. But there you go, I think that's Wheatie number 4. Seems like this is the best little section over here. I'll keep working it. Really deep 91 signal and got a huge hunk of brass. Alrighty, I'm bushwhacking again. I'm on the opposite end of the property, and I got some information on this over here, what I'm standing in. I'm not sure if you can kind of tell from the angle I have here, but this is a big depression right in through here. This used to be the ice hole. So I'm assuming a similar concept to like a spring house. They just would try to refrigerate their perishables. But anyway, I'm just seeing if there's signals in here, like it was ever used as a trash pit as well. You never know what could be around here. You see all the brick, and just there's so much materials pushed around this property. It's just insane how much work's been done here. There's a lot of old stuff in the ground. It's just tough getting it out. But anyway, got a blasting signal right there, and it's like a huge iron washer of some kind. So I'll poke around back here, see if there's anything interesting. But if not, we're gonna head down toward the pond. I have permission to be around the house on the bottom end of the property, which I'm not sure if it's all been dug up because they moved a lot of it around to kind of build up the dam for the pond. But we'll go down there in a bit. So I'm down over the hillside behind the ice hole now, where it just slopes into no man's land down in all this thick brush down over the hill. And I can tell that way down there, maybe about 7-8 yards, there looks like there's an aluminum fence buried under there where a long time ago they marked the boundary, and it's all grown over now. But it does look like I found a bit of a trash pit back here. Just got a big blast and high conductive signal and just pulled this out. It looks very familiar, but I just can't remember exactly what that is. But yeah, definitely into a trash pit on this end. What's this here? Looks like a hinge of some kind. Yep. We'll set that there. I saw this. That's broken. That is an old bottle though. Hey, check that out. Roanoke, Virginia. Yeah, that's big, thick old glass. That's an old, looks like, I think that's an old Coke. I'll have to see if there's a complete one over here. There's some plastic. A lot of brick. Oh yeah, here we go. What do we got here? Oh yeah, that one's complete. Oh yes. This looks cool. I can't tell what that says. Huh. I'm not familiar with that. That looks old though. That's definitely an old one there. Here we go. I can't believe it has still some of the label on it there. Yeah, that's what I thought it's. Is that Bireleys? B-I-R-E-L-E-Y-S? Not familiar with that one. That is an awesome old bottle though. I'm definitely going to keep looking around here. What is this? I don't think that's metallic. I think that's a big piece of slate. Huh. I like it back here. Let's keep looking. If I would have came here a couple weeks later, it would have been too grown in. It's a good thing I got in here toward the beginning of spring. I have no idea what that big hole is all about there. Huge crater, but there's some bottles through here that don't seem particularly old like I suspect the other one I found is. We got this here, just a screw top, the lid's still on it. Can't quite read that on the bottom there. Let's see what else we got. We got one buried here. Well, a lot of broken ones. The tree roots have just, look at that, the tree reclaimed that bottle, snapped it right in half. Oh, wow. That is crazy. 1 quart. That's a screw top. It's not particularly old. That's a crazy design though. You don't see this kind of stuff anymore. Something wine. Yeah, I can't tell what else it says, but I can see something wine. 1 quart. Man, I just like the design of that. We're gonna have to keep that one. See the lid rusted onto it? All that nastiness down in there. What's this here? There's the top of a big jug. Oh, just a piece of a bottle there. There's another broken one there. This is pretty cool. Now, I haven't found anything super old yet back here, but I think we're in the range of around the 1960s, possibly a little bit earlier on some of the stuff. That's the ice hole right here. All right, I'm gonna take that big one there. I like that one. I have to come back here someday in the winter when all this brush is down. I went to turn the screw cap to get the lid off to get rid of that water, and it just literally crumbled. Ew! Excuse me. But yeah, ooh. Much better. I'm about 2.5 yards off the main road, which is quite busy here, and just found this. Probably a piece of like a logo or something off of somebody's vehicle, or like an emblem. Huh, probably what that is. Now keep looking around up here. Okay, I'm back in the main part of the yard and dug a little bit of trash so far. Had a signal in the high 80s that sounded really good. And it is actually a piece of silver. It's kind of where I found the wheat penny, so I don't think it's going to be too incredibly old, but let's take a look. It's a silver Roosevelt dime. I can see maybe the last digit of the date. Is that a 0? I can't tell. Definitely a silver Roosevelt dime though. Happy to pop that out. Wasn't expecting it. I was just going to say, sometimes at these super old properties like this that are tough to work, I almost never find silver at them. But there you go. Sweet, I'll put it in the pouch and we'll keep trying. There's a look at the silver dime cleaned up. 1949, 90% silver. Always nice to see a bit of shine in the hole. All of a sudden the good stuff's hitting. Not as far as the signal goes. I had a bouncy signal in the 60s. I thought it was just going to be aluminum. 4 inches down I see a nickel, but it has a white tint to it. I think it's going to be a war nickel. Oh yeah, you can see the white and the yellowish tint there. That's the silver right there. 35% silver war nickel. Wow, that only came 2 minutes from the last one. 2 minutes apart. It's funny how that happens. And I just dug another shotgun shell head stamp as well. It's down in there. Awesome. Let's keep plugging away. And we are on a roll. Now I got a 1945 35% silver war nickel. It's got a bit of tarnish on it, but hey, what are you gonna do? It's got a Denver mint mark. And if I remember correctly, they're 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese, which is why you get the weird coloration on them. But another silver coin for the pouch, and on to the hunt. There's a look at one of the awesome little outbuildings in the property. I wasn't sure what it was used for. I figured maybe it was just some kind of like living quarters for people that used to help out here on the plantation. But apparently it wasn't built until the 1940s as like an art studio for someone that lived here. But anyway, started working down here toward that structure at the base of the yard, and just popped out a wheat cent. So I'll keep looking through here and see if we can pull more coins out. Okay guys, I rescanned the hole with the detector. Another 81 signal in here. So this is probably going to be another wheat penny, probably not silver. I see the edge of it there. Little wheat penny spill. Oh, I can see the date on this one. I couldn't see it on the other one. One's 1940. Sweet. Let's check it again. And I think that's it. 2 wheat pennies in the same hole. Nice. Now this could be junk, but just in case we're going to do it live. Right here is where I dug those 2 wheat pennies out of, and right next to it, about 2 feet away, I have a silver dime signal. It's super shallow though, and it's a little weird. The detector could be also picking up a little bit of iron too when I try to pinpoint, which could be why it's weird. But just in case it's a silver coin by these wheat pennies, we'll try it live. It's not going to be very deep, whatever it is. This should be plenty right here. Whoa. You see that? It's not silver, but it looks like we got stacked coins there. Let's get the glove off there. Wow. Are these wheat cents? I'm pretty sure they're going to be. Let's see if I can see the date on this one. Yep, 55. So yeah, these are wheat pennies. Awesome. Well, that was a cool live dig. Let's scan over it again, see if it's still beeping. There's something, it's not right in the same hole, but like right here. Let's do this. Oh my goodness, it's just a smear. Could this be a huge coin spill? Actually, that sounds just like a big smearing junk target. I'll dig it out and see what it is though. It could be a pile of old coins, but it also could just be a big piece of high conductive trash off to the edge. Let me get a plug cut open and we'll take a look at it. Well guys, I think we're onto something pretty crazy here, because I cut a moon-shaped plug off the side of the other one where that big smearing signal was. Pop the plug and you can see on the top there's some darkened soil. There's another wheat cent right there, but I know there's going to be more down there. There's no way that one coin made that huge noise. Yep. There's more down there, so I'll fish around a bit. Let me see if I can open that side. I think there's some back here. Yep. Right down here in the center. Let's try to do this little portion live. There's some right back here. Something here anyway. Don't have my hand digger on me. Let's get down under this. There's another coin. That's wheat penny number 6. Set it over there. What in the world? I just looked at the tip of my shovel. That must have been from a second ago. There's another one. Wheat penny number 7. Let's see if this is still making noise here. That might be the end of it, but I will check it again once I patch it up. But worst case scenario, 7 wheat pennies. 2 there, and like 5 in through there. So apparently the ground is original down here. I am right by the little art studio, by this awesome tree, and literally an inch down right there, got another wheat cent. So it's original soil down here. This is awesome. Even though these coins aren't 1800s like I'm looking for, I'll pop these all day. Sweet. Alright guys, I think I got my first 1800s find down in this hole. It was a faint signal about 4 inches down, but first of all, had this old piece of glass down there, really thick. It says something and Sons. That looks like very old glass. And to have that sort of writing on it. But anyhow, let me show you what we just pulled out here. It's kind of rang up around the nickel range. It's a tiny one, but it's definitely a flat button. You can see where the shank busted off the center there on the back. It's very basic, just a small little one, probably no design on it, but that right there, most likely early to mid 1800s. A lot of these I find similar to this are usually around the 1830s, give or take. So there we go, first 1800s relic. Sweet. Alright, it's been a while. I came back over to my original pile to drop some stuff off. I was looking in the yard again and dug this huge piece of copper wire out, chasing the big targets now. And this crazy thing, I'm not sure what it was used for. It's like a big iron spike, but it gave off a good signal because it's got a huge strip of copper off the end of it. And I couldn't figure out why it wouldn't come out of the hole. I kept pulling and pulling, and here this was running sideways the whole way in the ground. Took me like 5-6 minutes to get out. But not sure what that was used for. But let's see. Hopefully the ants have vacated the cap gun by now. But I ain't quitting. I've been out here probably, oh man, since about 12:30. I think it's about going on 4:30 now. So I've been out here about 4 hours trying to scout all the edges of the property, and I'm still finding stuff, so we're gonna keep digging. So I'm going through the path down here that leads down to another old house that's on the property, right down here that I have to look around yet. And that's sort of the front part of the pond right back in here. I haven't done too much of this path, but it's right over there in the woods where I found the cap gun. I had a solid mid-tone here that just really locked on. 74 wouldn't budge. I thought it could be something interesting. If it wasn't trash, we may have something good here. At first glance, it looks like it could be a flower. Definitely is. I don't think it's silver. I mean, it's silver plated at least, but I don't think it's solid sterling. That's pretty cool though. It's gotta be old. Yeah, the front of it looks good. Not sure how old that is. That's a pretty neat find though. I'll clean it up a bit later. Back to the search. I just had a very shallow target here and dug it, and I have no idea what it is, what it broke off of, but it's got some kind of cool patterns on the sides of it. I have no idea what that broke off of though. Oops. It's got them grooves up on the top. I have no idea on this one. Comment below. What in the tarnation is this? It's metallic. What in the world? Oh, my camera's about to die. I keep forgetting. It looks like it has a little screw top there. But this is metal. Wonder if that's some kind of fancy... I don't know. I'm not sure what you would put in that. I wonder if it could... Inkwells normally have a wide base, but maybe it's like a fancy one. Who knows? That's crazy. Every hole's a surprise in this yard. It's got some fancy design on the side of it. Yeah, it's like some kind of mixed alloy. Huh. Listen. What does it ring up on the T2? 77. Okay, welcome to the back of my trunk. This is the huge pile of stuff we dug from here so far. Most of that's junk in there, but there's a few of the interesting bits like the Frigidaire brass and other stuff, but mostly trash in there. A lot of shotgun shell head stamps. I got my bottles down in here, and I was looking at this piece. I found this other piece in that hole of one of them things I just found, and I was comparing it. I was thinking, yeah, this might be another piece of another cap gun, and I was right. Here's the first one I found, and it has the grooves on the top, and then it kind of goes down over the sides, and that's the same thing here. You can see that pin that kind of holds it together with the grooves and that design there. This piece busted off. So yep, parts to another cap gun. So I'll have to look around that area, see if the rest of it's down there. But over there's my better stuff, that pile of wheat pennies, the flour. I found, I didn't show it on camera, but modern coins there. I got a nickel and a zinc penny in the same hole a few minutes ago. And I also didn't show this on camera. Got another big compact lid. That's probably like 1930s-ish, give or take. So yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff in here. I'm just gonna keep digging holes. All the shallow blasting signals you'd think would be modern trash, a lot of them are the interesting stuff, so we're just gonna keep popping plugs. Good morning, guys. How's it going? I just decided to come out here to the dock and show you around. It is almost 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm getting ready to head out of here. Yesterday I put in about probably another 2 hours of digging. Didn't do any filming. The owner's 6-year-old son came out, and I spent some time with him, and he wanted to help dig and do everything, so I kind of let him help. So he busted out his Swiss folding army shovel, and when I located a signal, he brought out the pickaxe and started hammering. So I was like, yeah, we'll focus on the outskirts and the big thunky signals. We won't try to find ourselves a good rare coin that he's gonna chop in two. But it was fun. I had a good time, and I know he did as well. So I let him poke around with me for almost 2 hours, and we dug up some relics, and I found another wheat penny as well. But anyway, just out here at the pond, I'm gonna walk around the trail here in the morning to get some exercise and look at the scenery around here in the woods, and maybe poke up around in there a little bit, see if there's any old bottles on the back end of this property as well. I haven't gone way over on the far side of the pond here. So we're gonna do that, and I'll show you everything else I found here shortly. I guess we'll do like a big mega wrap up. I got a huge pile of relics and all kinds of interesting stuff to show. But a look at the dock. And if I stop here again, I'll have to take the canoe out for a spin. Or maybe I'll do it yet. They got some kayaks as well. But that's what's going on this morning. So let's take a look back here. Yeah, just one lone mallard duck just right out in the middle of the pond. And over on the other side of this here, I'll show in a minute, there's another old home site that sits right down over there. You can kind of see the roof there. Now I have permission to search around that too. It is on this property. The problem is when they dammed this up to make a pond, they scraped all the soil or took a lot of the soil from around that area and down over that side of the property to dam all this up. So pretty much everything on that end, there's probably nothing old to be found. Unless, who knows, there could be relics mixed in it they kind of push around, but it would be a needle in a haystack. But I did pull that house up on the aerials, old aerials online. The oldest ones I could find in this area go back to like the 1950s, and that house was there. I'm not sure how old it is exactly, but it could be early 1900s, somewhere around in there. So it's a really neat property, really beautiful back here in the woods with the pond. And just it's back in this section here where I was finding a few of the old bottles and relics the other day. So I'll get back to you guys in a bit, but I just wanted to show you around. Stand by. First find of the day, got me a little rubber crab fishing lure. Check out this. It like braided its way on up there. Fascinating. So down below the dam is the other older house, which I would show a bit closer, but there are people staying in this unit at the moment, so I don't want to disturb them. But that was built probably sometime in the early 1900s. But as for me, I'm heading back up to the house there and gonna pack up my stuff, and we're gonna hit the road. So I hope you guys enjoyed coming along with me on this little journey. I had a good time. Goodbye, old house. You've been good to me. Maybe we'll stop again sometime. Alright, so here's a brief overview at everything I found at the 1820s plantation house. And I will say, you gotta dig trash to dig the treasure. This was from my weekend trip, so a little bit of this is not from the old house I hunted, but probably 80 to 85% of it. You got bottle caps, old pieces of brass, lots of iron, like horseshoe halves, you name it, it's in there. A couple cap gun parts. Just the stuff that wasn't quite good enough to lay out and show. But anyhow, some more of the interesting relics. We got the inside of a clock, you know, like some clock guts, and pieces off of old appliances. You can see they say Frigidaire on them. Got an old base of an old lantern. Always like finding those. It's missing the end on it though, so I won't be able to get a patent date off of it. That could potentially be 1800s there. I didn't find as much 1800 stuff on this property as I was hoping, but hey, you gotta take whatever story the ground wants to tell you. I did bring home this one nice horseshoe that I found on the edge of the property, and some other odd horse tack. This is quite interesting. I didn't research it extensively, but you can see the really nice ornate pattern on that. A fully metal bottle. And I could be wrong, but I think I almost saw one of these on the metal detecting forums a long time ago, and I almost want to say that for some reason remember it being like a really old primitive version of like a men's cologne bottle, but I could be completely wrong on that. Could be some type of fancy inkwell, but for anybody that knows, please comment. I'd love to know. Never expected to pull that out of the ground. This I didn't get on camera because I found when I was hunting with the property owner's son. So just a big old Rogers serving spoon, silver plated, fancy design on it. Normally you don't find these things complete, or you know, like just not all mangled to death, so it was cool to find that. And just some makeup compacts, that one piece of glass that I really liked that could potentially be 1800s or maybe early 1900s. Got the awesome complete cap gun. Got a few modern coins. That was it for the modern coins. A quarter, a dime, a nickel, and 3 pennies. I did end up with 13 wheat cents, which I'm not going to go into all of them because all of these here are from the 1940s and 50s. I will say though, there's one of these coins that is rare. It's an error coin. I'm not going to go into it in this wrap up. It's going to warrant a separate video, and I'll have to get out my high power camera. So I was actually pretty excited to see them cleaned up. It's an error on a coin that I've never actually seen before, so pretty interesting. I did get one older one. This ended up being the oldest coin, 1920. So happy to have it. I was really hoping to get into some mid to early 1800 coins in this property, but just didn't happen. But I did get some consolation prizes on the coins, ending up with 2 silvers, and they came like one hole apart from each other with one target in between. It's funny how that works. You spend 6 hours there and the 2 silvers are within like 3 minutes. Apart from that, this is apart from maybe that piece of the lantern, the only other 1800s item I was able to find. Little itty bitty flat button where you can, like a cuff button, you can see where the shank broke off the back of it. No discernible back marks on it. That's probably 1830s-ish, give or take a decade or so. Just one 1900s 2-hole aluminum button. This flower here, I have to test it for silver, but normally when something gets that yellowy kind of tint to it, it's aluminum. So I'm not exactly sure, but pretty cool anyway. So that was the extent of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a really fun time doing this one. It was an awesome place to explore. So take care and happy treasure hunting. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye. Shh.